So you caved, you broke no contact, you're feeling bad about it. It's okay. I'm Amy and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. I'm a certified attachment style coach and I help anxious attachers break the cycle of avoidant and emotionally unavailable partners so that you can really thrive in your independence and prevent future heartbreak. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about why it is so difficult to not break no contact and also what to do if for whatever reason you cannot stop texting your ex. But before I start, I have a 6-week self-study course, which is the exact blueprint of the steps I took to shift from anxiously attached to more secure attached. The link to that is in my bio, but let's get started on the video. I think a lot of us have been in this position. I have so many times where you feel like you are moving forward, you feel like you are shifting a bit into not needing this person as much. You're really doing the work, you're healing, and then you're kind of overcome with this false optimism or false hope, and suddenly you find yourself picking up the phone and before you know it, you've messaged them. I want to talk about why this happens so that you can try and catch it in time, because at the moment, yes, even though you're moving forwards, and also, by the way, you guys, having a momentary slip or a momentary lapse where you reach out to your ex, it's no big deal. Do not shame yourself for it. You're human. And when you have been in a relationship with a person that is avoidant or emotionally unavailable, the very nature of the relationship makes it so that contact is addictive. And this is alive in your nervous system. So your nervous system is wired to still reach for this person. And the cycle of the relationship takes some time to actually clear out of your system. So if you've been in a relationship, especially a long-term one, where there has been intermittent reinforcement, you kind of get yourself addicted to the hope and addicted to the breadcrumbs. So your nervous system is accustomed to the high of the hope and the possibility of the possibility that they're going to change, the possibility that everything's going to work out, maybe they'll change, and you're moving forward without this person, and all of a sudden that triggers in you where suddenly you're thinking, maybe this time it's going to be different, maybe this one last text will work, and momentarily, temporarily, it feels like it's going to work, and you feel you get this false optimism thinking, oh, this can be resolved, we can work on it this time, we've had a break, and maybe they're thinking differently now. So you do it, you send the text and it isn't what you want, and you have this emotional hangover from it. And this is the cycle that you would have lived in when you were in the relationship. You would have been continually fed crumbs. Maybe this person mentioned about going to therapy. Maybe this person mentioned about changing. Maybe they took accountability once in a blue moon. And it gives you that false hope, which feels like oh my gosh, yeah, that they've got it, it's going to work. And even when the relationship isn't there, you are still reliving that cycle. So how do we stop it? How do we actually make it so that next time this happens and next time you get the urge, you can breathe through it and sit through it rather than actually picking up the phone and texting them? So the first thing I want you to do is think about what need you think a message from them is going to give you. So the reason why you want this message is because it's going to fulfill some kind of need that you don't think you can fill yourself. So is it the need for comfort? Is it a need for safety? Because when we're in these relationships, we're conditioned in a way through our own attachment trauma and through the treatment of other people. We're conditioned to always look to that person for our needs to be met. We are solely focused on that person, and I've said before, it's like you're a sunflower looking for the sun, but instead of the sun you're looking at them, and they're the source, and they actually start to feel like they're a lifeline to you, and you become so attached to that person that you forget that you can actually meet your needs yourself. It's the belief that this is the only person that can meet my needs. And even when you are healing and moving forward, which takes time, you guys, be gentle with yourselves, take your time. It's not going to change overnight, even though we would love for that to happen. When we are in the belief, or when something triggers us, maybe you looked at the phone and noticed that they hadn't texted you and it made you feel like you didn't matter. and it triggers this sort of need to feel like you mattered to this person, this need to think, this need for stability, the need for familiarity, and you just want it to go back to how it was, even though logically you know that that relationship was not very good for you. So if we can identify what need it is that we think that message is going to get, work at meeting that yourself. So let's say the need for comfort, for example. What other ways can you give yourself comfort in this moment? You know, do you need a nap, for example? Do you need to go and sit in your bed and watch Netflix? Do you need a cup of tea? Anything that's going to give you comfort, because not only are you going to not only are you going to break that attachment to the need that you think that person is going to give you, you're actually feeding your subconscious mind with, I can meet my needs. I don't have to wait for somebody else to meet my needs. I can do that myself right now, and then go ahead and do it. So let's talk about then why this cycle is so difficult to move out of. And you might have heard about this experiment. I really forget the scientist's name. I apologise. But it was an experiment that they did with rats, and they had a button that the rat could press that dispensed food. And the first experiment was what would happen if every time the rat pressed the button, food consistently came out. The rat felt comfortable. It could go around and play with its little rat friends, come back and know that the food was going to be there. So it was calm, it was relaxed. It wasn't in panic mode. It wasn't activated in any way. And then the next experiment that they did, the button, when they pressed the button, no food came out ever at all. And what happened with that experiment is that the rat just lost interest and went and played with its rat friends. Now, the third experiment was that they would intermittently dispense food when the button was pushed. The rat pressed the button, food would come out, but the next 3 times it wouldn't, and then it would come out again, and the next 5 times it wouldn't. So the unpredictability of the gratification that the rat was getting made the rat completely obsessed with this button, to the point where it didn't eat, it didn't sleep, neglected itself, it wasn't grooming itself, it ignored all its rat friends, and it got completely obsessed with this button. And this is what happens to us, you guys, when we are in a relationship where it is unpredictable. Sometimes there's a breadcrumb, sometimes there isn't. What it does subconsciously is make you obsessed with how to get the payoff. How do I get love from this person, even if it's just a nugget? And it can make you become completely obsessed with getting some sort of something, a need met or whatever it is, from that person. And even when we're out of the relationship, that pattern is still active, both within our subconscious minds and within the nervous system. So your nervous system is expecting this pattern to happen. So if even when you're out of the relationship and you can't relax, you don't feel safe, you still feel like you're treading on eggshells, this is why. It's because subconsciously you are still living in the relationship instead of living in the present moment, where now actually you are safe. Now there is no intermittent reinforcement because you are capable of meeting all your needs yourself. You don't actually need this person for anything. You don't need this person to send you a text. You don't need them to say this particular thing to you anymore, because you can get your needs met. And when you can feel completely safe in the present moment, where there is no threat, there is no uncertainty, that there is only stability because you're providing yourself with the stability, no matter if it's messy, it doesn't matter, you guys. Progress over perfection. You don't have to be perfect at this, you just have to do your best. And the way we do our best is trying to catch ourselves in those vulnerable moments where we feel that urge to pick up the phone and text the ex, hoping for a different outcome that doesn't come. And then, like I say, it's the emotional hangover where you think, I'm so bad, I'm so weak, why can't they do this, there must be something wrong with me, I'm the problem. All of that story then comes up. So if we can try and nip it in the bud as soon as we notice it, then we're going to save ourselves a lot of pain and heartache. And also, every time you do not do this, every time you feel the urge and you do not do it, you are rewiring your nervous system. You are reclaiming those parts of yourself that you gave to the other person without anything in return. So please do not beat yourself up if you have sent your ex a text message. It doesn't matter. Today is a new day. Today is a new day. Today you can choose differently. Today you can put the phone away. Today you can not check your messages. Today you cannot scroll social media looking for them. Today is a new day. Focus on what do I need right now and how do I meet that need myself. And that urge to text them is going to evaporate. It is going to go away. I can promise that, you guys. It is going to stop popping into your head. It's going to happen less and less. The urge isn't going to be, it's not going to feel as, you're not going to feel the urgency, the desperation for it. And just acknowledge to yourself that this work is hard. This is not a normal breakup. It's not a healthy breakup. You've been in a situation with a person who has not met your needs, or at least not consistently. You are recovering from a toxic relationship. You're recovering from a dysfunctional dynamic. So please don't beat yourself up. It is hard, but you can get there. I have every faith in you. And I hope that video helped. If it did, and if you like this content, please consider subscribing to this channel and leave a comment below with what your stories are. I do love to read them and respond to them, but I'm Amy, and an absolute pleasure to help you improve your self-worth.